Okay, let me make sure this thing is working. Yep, it's working. Okay, so what you can see is behind me is my Hardy Navigator 1100. I'm putting down nitrogen and Banville, believe it or not. Nitrogen and Banville. I gotta pay attention to what I'm doing on these corners. A lot of guys always complain about me using film markers, but they work for me. If you didn't know, you get too close to fence rows out here in New Jersey, and you just cannot. You just can't use that GPS. It takes so long for the GPS to actually start to function that I can be done spraying the field. I can be completely done spraying the field before it actually starts to work. I'm rolling along here at 12.5 miles an hour. I am putting down 12 gallons of nitrogen Banville to the acre. I am doing that because there are some poison ivy. Poison ivy, believe it or not. This is a farm I have done off and on for several years now. A friend of mine actually is the resident farmer on here. But he, I guess he's decided to move on to other things. He's working with another guy, another friend of mine. He's working for him, and he seems to be making more. He said he's making the same amount of money. He's making the same amount of money without any of the headaches. Meaning he's not putting fertilizer down. He's not breaking his equipment. He's breaking somebody else's equipment, and he's getting paid to fix the equipment when it breaks. Which, sometimes that's just a better option, if you love farming so much, and you just don't want to be dealing with the responsibilities of let me see here, dealing with the responsibilities of the day-to-day in and outs of the operation, like spending money on fertilizer. By the end of today, I'll probably have somewhere around $10,000 worth of fertilizer thrown out on the ground. Now, a lot of people don't believe me when I say so, but that's just too freaking bad. I know the numbers because I'm the guy that's paying for it, contrary to other beliefs. But anyway, yeah, I try to take care of everybody's ground the same, myself included. If there's weeds here, I have got to take care of them, because if I don't, if I don't and I bale it and it's crappy hay, even though it is going to mushroom barns. Not that it has to. It doesn't have to go to mushroom barns. And I'm actually thinking of flooding the auction market for a couple of weeks or months out in Lancaster County, because you know what? I got a lot of help, and the help needs to get paid. And when you have to pay your help, you actually have to go to other measures. So if I get these weeds under control and get this, I'm not saying I'm going to be making idiot blocks, but oh, come on, baby. I'm actually just going to fold this bad boy up here. I'm not going to drop it down because I can get through this fence row here. There's a fence row I got to go through. I have a problem with my sprayer boom. Oh, groundhog hole. I have a problem with one of the sprayer booms on the right-hand side. You can see it's out to the side like that. There is actually there's an eyelet that's broken, and I bought it, but they sent me the wrong one. Go figure. So I have to deal with Hardy on that one. But yeah, so anyways, I'm maintaining this property. I'm taking the hay off of it, and if my friend decides in a year or two that he wants to have it back, he's going to end up with probably a better hay crop than what he ever had. But the way it's looking is he's pretty much just said to hell with it. He's pretty much said to hell with it. He's working for another fella, like I said, is my friend. And yes, I have got to do that. Let's see, did I hit the right side? No, I did not. Oh, there it is. Okay. Get out of the cabbage there. I'm feeling Canadian today. Anyway, yeah, so he's going to do that with his life, and I'm going to just kind of take over. Him and that friend were actually just wanted me to take off the first cutting, and then they were going to come back in on a second cut. But apparently he's changed his mind because I guess he went out and he saw that there was still poison ivy out here that I hadn't been able to get under control. So I'm trying to get it under control. And if I do, then, then it'll be better for both of us because I'll have clean first cut. And he said that he would come back in with real fertilizer, which I don't know what the difference between what I put down and what he puts down is. It's just a different analysis. What he's putting down is like a 12, 24, 24 or a triple 19 or something like that. Most of our ground does not need phosphate for hay production because of all the years of corn and all the years of corn. This ground grew really, really good corn back in the day. And it's kind of weird. I haven't seen too many deer, but there is some heavy deer hunting that's going on here now, which was not the case a few years back. So yeah, they're hunting a lot more, and when they're hunting a lot more, that may actually allow me to put some corn into this place, which would be okay. I'm really itching to get back into grain, just for the stupid reason is I'm tired of doing just one thing. I haven't grown corn now for 4 years. Corn and soybeans have been out of my program for 4 years. And I can't say that that has cost me anything, because it hasn't. Well, actually it has. It cost me one farm. There was a guy that farmed a piece of ground over there on Pitchtown Road, and he was upset that I put it into hay, and I told him, I said, well, I can't feed the deer. If you want to pay for the corn to go onto the property, that's great. You do that, and I'll plant corn. And of course he says, well, I want the money then. It's like, well, I'm not gonna pay to put corn on your property to watch the deer eat it, and then I'm just not going to do that, and then I'm not going to have you pay for the seed and the fertilizer and me do all the work for nothing. That doesn't make any sense, but I got to answer a phone call. Okay, so I'll explain what that phone call was about. It's pretty simple. This is the time of year that farmland assessment forms are filled out. The assessment in New Jersey is different than most parts of the country. Residential commercial is assessed one way, and farmland is assessed another. So if you have a piece of property, and I know it's redundant bullshit because it just is, but if you have a piece of property, you can basically take 2 acres, 1 to 2 acres off for your house and buildings, or whatever it takes to have your house and your buildings, and that is assessed as residential. And the rest of it can be woodland or farmland assessed, which is a much lower tax rate. And when I say a much lower tax rate, I'm telling you, you buy the land, and if you don't have a farmer farm it, or if you don't farm it correctly, or farm it and they find out, or you fill out that farmland assessment paper and you're not actually farming it, your ass is grass and they are the freaking lawnmower. They will basically fine you into submission. You won't even know what the hell end came up, You take a property like this one, which is about 110 acres in total, and farmable is only like 57 to 60 acres. So, okay, 57 to 60 acres, great, right? Yeah. You can take the farmable land and the tax rate will be minimal. Yeah, I'm going 13 miles an hour. Still getting 12 gallons the acre down. Excellent. Yeah, it'd be minimal. For the land and the everything but the 2 acres that she has over there, that is going to probably be for her house and everything, probably somewhere around $15,000 to $20,000 a year for that house and barns. Yes, $15,000 to $20,000 a year for the house and barns. But the land around it, is like $600. Right? So that's very important here in New Jersey to have farmland assessment, because if they didn't, it would be taxed as residential. And if you've got a residential tax rate on all this ground, you'd be looking at somewhere around $70,000 to $80,000 a year for the land, just in taxes. Welcome to New Jersey, if you didn't know. We live in the communist state of America, right here, New Jersey. It's sad to say, but it's true. Alright, well, that actually kicks out of four-wheel drive when I'm running this. As you can see, I'm following my lines over there. Let's shut that off. So anyway, yeah, so that's what that phone call was about. Everybody this time of year starts panicking like, oh my God. And within right, because sometimes the tax assessors in our area can become like Adolf Hitler. They want to rule everything. And I even got a call saying, hey, that land is not when we got the new tax assessor, there's a lot of land that's being claimed as farmed and you haven't made the hay on it, so we're going to deny if you don't respond. And it's like, whoa. And I ended up having to make a phone call and say, hey, buddy, I've got until the end of the year to do that. As a matter of fact, I got it until the end of the fiscal year, which was April 15th for them. I believe it is April 15th. Don't quote me, because I'm just a stupid farmer, you know. But yeah, the farmland assessment is very important here in New Jersey, and they're all panicking. They're all calling me up as second that damn thing comes in, because they don't want to get hit with a tax bill that would put them in the poorhouse or even make them have to sell their property. And if you do lose farmland assessment here in New Jersey, it's 3 years before you can get back into the farmland assessment program. And that, my friends, stinks, because you have to pay technically 5 years of taxes in those 3 years. It's prorated. I believe that's how. It might be only the 3. It's 3 years. It takes 3 years to get back in. They prorate 5 years. So they're going to hit you with a bill like you got no clue what kind of bill they're going to hit you with. So, yeah. And a lot of the farms in New Jersey are free to farm because of that. It's marginal soils to begin with. We have a insatiable deer herd, in New Jersey, so in this part of New Jersey, so you can't grow corn and soybeans very easily. I mean, you can attempt it, but you're going to be feeding the state's herd. Yes, the state's herd. Come on, damn it. You're going to be feeding the state's herd for free. They don't give a shit. State of New Jersey just is like, well, whatever. You know, they're not our animals, they're your animals. But if you go out and shoot them, then you're in violation, you're breaking the law, and the state of New Jersey then fines you. So whose animals are they really? They're not the people of New Jersey's animals, they're the state of New Jersey's animals. But anyway, whatever. So, on to the next little garden patch that I've got to deal with. This one here is like down back twice and I'm done. You know, that's just the way it is. And I'm going to shut this off, unfold and go.